JEM is my name, no one else is the same. JEM is my name. JEM.
So back in the Blaze issue, I remarked on how I wasn't quite sure how to feel about Pizzazz's reaction to Blaze's admission that she had been starting another group and she, in due time, would leave them. But for now, with Pizzazz's blessing, she can do both the Misfits and her other band. And thinking about it a bit more, it's a cool thing to do. It shows insight, it shows respect, it shows awareness, it shows the true heart of goodness, it shows growth. But at this point, it still feels... Something bit me, and if I ever figure out what bit me, I'm gonna bite it back. That's right. There might be a spider hiding under my bed. Oh, I ain't gonna squish it. I ain't even gonna evict it. I'm gonna bite it. That's right, spider! Your days are numbered! I find you, I bite you! See if I won't. It itches! It feels out of character for Pizzazz at this point. It feels like a character beat that she'd grow into. Because she has seen some growth over this series. And I liked that beat. But it doesn't feel like Pizzazz would hit that beat at that point in time. It doesn't feel like she's there yet. It's a timing thing. And I think it's probably just the reality of having to spit out issues month after month. It's a really difficult thing to plan long term, and things don't always work out exactly the way you'd like them to. So, to the current issue, to throw the camera crew off the trail of Roxy and her inability to read, Jetta says, "I'll tell you a story. My name isn't Sheila Burns, it's Prudence." And again, to the book's credit, they did set that up at the very end of the previous issue. Roxy says something like, "You ever going to tell me your real name?" And she goes, no. I mean, that's the name that people gave me when I was born, before I was really even a person yet. They didn't know me. Sheila Burns is who I am. And again, this is another spot where I think it would have worked a little bit better if there were a bit more space between the moment we learn that Sheila Burns is not Jetta's name and when we learn what her name is. Timing. So she tells the camera crew, here's the juicy deets. My name is Prudence, and I'm from Georgia. I'm not British. And she drops her accent. Oh my gosh! Scandal! I don't know, is it? I mean, she like totally went full George Santos up in here. It's like, but see, the difference is, one is pretending to be someone else so that he would be elected to a position of power, and the other is a stage name in a musical act. There's a difference. It's subtle, but if you look, I bet you can pick up on it. So, Pizzazz WTFs and goes to choke out Jetta. Okay, so Blaze, you've been... I'm incredibly mature about the fact that you're starting your own band, which you are eventually going to leave us. But Jetta, your stage name is... Or, you know, you're not Sheila Burns and you're not British. I will choke you with one of Roxy's bagels. See, that's that feels like, I mean, mood swings, maybe it just doesn't feel consistent. Oh, by the way, the character models for some of the characters have changed again. Jen? Pick one. Your art's attractive, but you seem to not be able to settle on specific character models. Because this is the third time characters have changed in 5 issues. Yikes. Anyway, so Jetta talks about her past, and I really like what they do with the flashbacks here, with the pink and the red, being black and white except for the pink and the red. It's really attractive, and I like it. So, Jetta might be making all of this stuff up, and there is a hint that that might be the case, and I'll address that in a moment, but I noticed that her story is Roxy's story. You know, she grew up with her mother, who died when she was a child, and she went to live with her aunt, who didn't get on with her mother, and so she eventually ran away. That's... I mean, she's either lying and just using Roxy's story as her own, or that's why she and Roxy get on so well, is because they have very, very similar backgrounds. So, you know, she says, you know, I ended up, left the United States, ended up in London, became a musician, my band toured here, and then I joined the Misfits, and you're my family now, and that's great. And they talk about, it's like, well, okay, well, why didn't you tell all of that to the interview crew? And she says, because it's none of their damn business. And again, I'm like, you really don't seem to understand this whole reality television thing. But she says, you know, I don't know them. I'm not willing to give them everything. I gave them a tease, but, you know, who I am and what I think and all of that great stuff is only for my friends and family and the people I love, and that's you guys. But is she telling the truth? I don't know. She mentions in her flashback that she got the name Jetta because that's what her mom called her. There's a little flashback to her mom holding her as a little 3-year-old, saying, "Or maybe I'd take you with me, my little Jetta. What do you think?" Hee hee, says she. And she says, I don't know what the hell that means. She just called me that, and so I adopted that as my stage name. Except, if you back up a couple of pages and look at how this flashback started, or maybe I'd take you with me, my little moppet. What do you think? Hee hee, says baby Jetta. Now, it's possible that's just a mistake, but I doubt that. That seems intentional. So, is Jetta just making stuff up? Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, the girls ask, they're like, okay, well, so what brought this on anyway? And Roxy says, well, she was protecting me, and Roxy's like, I want to tell you guys, I can't read, and they were about to find out, so Jetta essentially threw herself on a grenade for me. You know, caused a big scandal, outed herself as someone who lied about who she was. I mean, it's more about a stage name than really anything else. I don't know if it's that big a deal. So they find out that Roxy can't read, and they immediately, all of them, including Pizzazz, go to hug her. Which, again, feels like, at this point, still feels like something Pizzazz would only do begrudgingly. I mean, it's made several... I think maybe what they're trying to go for is growth on her part, but it just... I'm not feeling it. Anyway, Eric Bad Guy shows up, and he's got a complete redesign. And he sees the the 5 girls hugging and crying, and he says, "Oh God, who died?" That's good. I like that. That played very well. Anyway, so the girls finish their song. They do a music video, and I'm really liking the high contrast greens and purples and blacks. Very attractive. And they get on Lindsay's show, and they announce that their single is going to be on sale, and they're back in a big way, and they even have a new label, Misfits Music. So, yeah, I mean, it seems obvious. They apparently got, the new music videos tracking very well. They got some sponsorship offers, but Pizzazz decided apparently to use her vast resources to just start her own damn music label. And yeah, that seems obvious, but it also seems really appropriate for these characters. So this arc overall, enjoyable. I'm getting whiplash from all the art style changes and the changes, the different character models from issue to issue, not just arc to arc. That's I don't care for that. I'm old now. I need consistency. Change scares me and makes me nervous. So I think I like, overall I like this arc. The art is attractive though. It changes. They can't seem to nail down a consistent style, but it's still colorful. It's attractive. It's readable. I still think that it's not as effective as Sophie Campbell's arc from the art from the earlier issues, but does its job for the most part. I think there's some good stuff, and Victoria Robato's coloring it just sells a lot of this really well. I think really where the issues, the negative issues, are for me is just in timing, and that's likely the nature of the beast when it comes to comic books. You don't often, you get 22 pages a month. That's not a lot of room to breathe. So a lot of things feel compressed. Things feel like they're happening too soon. It's like, yeah, but we've only got a limited number of pages, so it's unfortunate. But overall, I enjoyed the Misfits arc definitely a lot more than I did the Stingers arc. So next we move on to, while this was happening, JEM and the Holograms were doing stuff. What stuff were they doing? Well, I don't know, because I haven't read it yet. I'll have to get on that.